Enough love each and every. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Box Fulla Records channel, hosted by myself, D-Tox. Box Fulla Records is a record label and event organizer, promotional distributor, taking positive inspiration from reggae and sound system culture, whilst firmly focused on the foundation and future sounds of jungle drum and bass. We will be doing interviews, vlogs, and behind the scenes of running a jungle drum and bass record label. If this is something that interests you, then help build the channel by subscribing and liking the video. Already helps, and we appreciate the support. Okay, so this is our first video, and we are joined by none other than the sound boy killer from Colorado, the ganja man himself, Shawn One. We'll like, when we get a bit more money, we'll put proper sound effects in there for you. You know what I mean? Gunshots and stuff. Yeah. So hello. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man. Good to be here. Thanks, man.
Cool. So, Shawn, you've got releases on Deep in the Jungle, Back to the Jungle, Sound So Fierce, to name a few, and you're blessing us with our first release at Box Fulla Records. Yeah, this first release, Roddy Ganja, enough respect to you.
Likewise.
Cool, man. So, shall I just crack on with the question? So, tell us what was some musical influences growing up, and how did you first get into the music scene?
Try and like pull some thoughts together, you know. I mean, definitely growing up grew up on parents all Motown, R&B, easy listening, and then hip hop, you know, LA radio. Grew up in LA, Southern California, and moved to Arizona at early teens, and I had a buddy I went to school with there who was all like into industrial. And so we got into like Ministry, Skinny Puppy, Front 242, all this KMFDM, all this kind of crazy shit like that. And then, so it was as all these techno compilations started coming out, it was this kind of natural progression, I think. I don't know, between the, you know, Motown sound and industrial sound, and then it was techno. Everything was just techno, though. It wasn't like, I would hear songs in between on compilations that I was like, oh, that's kind of the sound I like more than that sound, you know. And it had a break beat instead of a 4/4, and you know, it had more of a certain influence than not. You know, it's had some kind of more, I would say, human element or something, rather than just so methodic or robotic. You know, there was some sample half the time. You know, the majority of the time there was some sample. You know, some funk to it, some vibe in that way. But some kid that I went to school with way back then that was actually in like the LA scene a little bit, he played me SL2 on a Raga tip, and I was like, yeah, that's what I've been more centering on. He's like, yeah, man, that's like that's that sound, you know. And I started collecting records pretty early. After that was like early 93, mid 93. And I remember we were talking about that. I was like, grab those little guys. That was one of my first record selections, the 2 Dextrous and the 4 Hero. At Noise out in that's not Costa Mesa, it's Irvine, I guess, in Southern California. But you couldn't listen to them, and it was just like, or I've been knowing like, all right, that's kind of the sound, that's the look, the feel just felt right, you know, kind of graph looking or something, and kind of like whatever, I don't know. And you know, that whole feel, that was a big pull of it too. I think that early sub-bass shit, the Dave's art, you know, the graph from that too was pulling me in. I was like, yeah, that's like, I don't know, that was just the vibe, you know. So like all the early those comps, those early sub-bass comps, like kick-in comps, moving shadow comps, like all that stuff just sucked me in right off the bat, where I was like, okay, this is the sound. And before you know it, was called jungle. You know, it was hardcore breakbeat for a minute there, but you know, by the time I had caught on, I think it was already jungle, you know. So yeah, and my buddy, I gotta say his name because he's a fucking amazing artist, benbshaw.com, benbashaw.com, BESHAW. So we grew up together, kind of teaching each other about sides of music or whatever. But then, you know, after mixing for a little while, or getting into all that, you know, I grew up in Arizona, and I think enough people know him worldwide. I grew up mixing and opening up for Z-Trip a lot, who was he's kind of like, you know, one of the godfathers of the mashup, you know. So between kind of his style of, you know, so much sample heavy, you know, and like kind of like premiere style hip hop, like sample heavy, you know, sample storytelling, kind of like, I think is like where a big part of my style comes from. Back then, though, you know, our big West Coast jungle god, you know, I gotta give him respect. 6 Block, RAW. That kind of formed the 1994 RAW is Dead tapes, B-sides. I've been collecting like the Bagleys tapes and the Fever tapes, and like Kenny Ken, Darren J, Mickey Finn, Cachet, you know, and was like addicted to the vibe, you know. And then LA, you know, had, you know, RAW was just that tape hack, you know, introed with the Jacob's Ladder, this intro with the angels talking and shit. And anyways, I was just like, oh my god, this is he just took me. I was like, I want to do this too, you know. So RAW is a huge influence that way. And all those, you know, a lot of the early stateside DJs, Diesel Boy, Phantom 45, Danny Wildchild, OD, I don't even know, UFO, more LA guys, tons of LA guys. Yeah, we were in AZ, and there was another dude named Essential, and myself. We were kind of like the, you know, early on, some of the only guys there. And we had this AZ Hard Step Alliance way back when. And then Rough Something Embassy came along. There's a homie, Kip Killigan, who's Rough Something Embassy, who's kind of does some things too now. Kings of the Jungle. Check them out. They just actually had a release with Tekich. So they're doing some solid moves actually right now. Kip and False Flag. So those are homies from way back in AZ too. But you know, we were all then throwing parties in Sedona, Arizona, Flagstaff, all the, you know, desert parties, Phoenix too. We play down there. But one of my favorite memories, I think, from that, and kind of like I've been going for a few years at that point, but it was New Year's 1999, you know, Y2K. There was this party we had, it was called Orgasmic Bliss, and that was this big desert party. And I got to close the kind of the whole night and the drum bass stage from we had Marvelous Kane, Prisoners of Technology, and Daisy from Roughneck Ting, all out from UK. So that was cool to kind of like, you know, not by choice, but I usually ended up playing like sunrise sets and like more lighter and, you know, Pache kind of styles and shit like that back then, because just for time slots, you know, we had, you know, I more catered to the time slot. You know, the sun's coming up and I was trying to smash people and shit. But anyways, but yeah, it was an awesome memory. You know, sun coming up after all, you know, getting to watch all those guys and stuff way back when. Yeah, so many, you know, the homies way back, you know, Jesse, Cameron, Curb Kids, you know, Lego from that area. He's still doing big things right now. If you like Electro Lab, he's got vinyl that he puts out and shit. I don't know. There's so much from so many things. So I mean, ultimately, you know, that those LA influences. We used to buy records at this place called Free Clouds, Dr. Free Clouds. If you're from like SoCal at all, then which half my family is, you know, I was there half the time. That's just the place. Rondi Core, even though I wasn't like the hardcore guy, he's a big influence. Simply Jeff, you know, was a breaks guy, big influence in that way. DJ Dan, just all that stuff through that kind of through the outlet there, I guess. But you know, I was so UK influenced too. You know, some people were like didn't like all the MCing and all the more. Like I said, I grew up on those 8-pack tapes, you know, and you know, all the, I mean, so many, God bless, you know what I mean? I'll just ramble on and on. So many early artists, and like, you know, I'm pulled out the Dexterous and all that type of, you know, all the, you know, Remark, and yeah, I mentioned Tech Hits, of course, you know, all the, I don't even know, you can make this list of like some of my favorites, you know, John B, Busy Bee, you know, Prisoner, you know, Splash, Cruise, all the Kemet shit, you know, all the Full Cycle shit. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I mean,
there's a lot. Yeah.
You know, hype was such an influence because, you know, like I said, growing up with Z-Trip, I was so into turntablism. I wasn't really a turntablist. I kind of got cut off where, like, you know, in the dance, in the rave DJ, I could cut enough, but like serious turntablist, hip hop turntablist, I kind of got, you know, all right, I don't know if I keep up totally. But then Hype was there making those tracks on God, you know, God was such a sick label, and Hype was represented like that. I mean, he was such an influence, you know. Anyways, well, you know, God bless.
Yeah, Hype, he's like, you know, Hype. Well, Marky does a bit of scratching now, isn't it? But he's pretty new in comparison to me, so yeah, it's like the only guy doing it, and it's nice. Well, I suppose. But,
I love watching him too. I watch his basement since the quarantine stuff sometimes, and you can tell he's just like so vibe, you know. He's just like you see him get in there. He's got a big old smile. I'm like, I love this guy, man. You know?
Yeah, nice to see him vibing out like that, isn't it? Yeah. All the stuff he did with Fats. Lovely. That's interesting. Yeah, interesting to say about the tape packs, because, you know, even over here, same thing. You know, got into tape packs first, with Helter Skelter tape packs, or One Nation and all that. You know, and really big influence, you know, on myself and, you know, loads of other people. It's weird actually. The bloke that invented the cassette tape died, didn't he, the other day? I don't know if you've seen that. Can't remember his name now.
Oh shit.
He was like 94 or something. But he's 94, good age. But good year. He passed, and everyone's just like, you know, if it wasn't for this guy, we wouldn't even have, you know, the scene that we got now. It's all, you know, it's all recordings, either pirate radio or, you know, tape packs from the rave, and you know, that's your you know, your influence, isn't it, when you're getting into it? But it's interesting as well. You said about the last and the sunrise set. But I mean, that's what it's like when you sort of first start playing out. You know, we used to call it the graveyard shift. So, you know, I used to get that when I was first playing out, but it was cool because, I mean, the club I was playing at closed at 2, so it's quite early finish. But I'd be on after the headliner because, you know, that was the slot. So it's cool because you sort of, you know, hanging around after having a little soup with them or whatever. You know, definitely and watching them do their set as well, which is really cool. So there's like a bench behind the decks. So I used to go down there every week. It was like a weekly event, and just sit on the you know, on the bench and just skin up all night. And it was just wicked to see, you know, like Nicky Black Market, big influence. I mean, Rampy Swift, you know what I mean? Watching them do their thing, just like, you know, lucky to be in that position. But it's the graveyard shift, man. Everyone's so mashed by then. It's like you get away with a lot as well, don't you?
It's part of it, you know. And I always tried to respect it too, you know. It's like you don't go in there you know, after the whole night's been done and just start slapping them around, you know. It's like wind it down, be nice, you know.
So I was the opposite. I was just like, yeah, fuck it.
Well, that's still hype time. That's not the sun, you know.
Just ropey double drops and like,
like,
fuck it. Sort of in. Jokes. But yeah, I mean, those desert parties sound mad. I'd love to experience a bit of that. I suppose it'd be a bit like, what's that festival that's in the desert out in America somewhere? Was it the Burning Man or something? Is that right? Is that in the desert?
Oh yeah. Burning Man is that big famous one in Cali. Yeah. I've never been. Yeah, it sounds for that long and that crazy. It's a bit much for me, I guess. I'm like, can I go for 2 days?
Yeah. Next morning after the first day, I'm done. You know what I mean? It's just, just hanging in there for the rest of another 2 days.
Oh yeah, I've been a geezer for a long time, man.
Thanks. Cool. So yeah, nice one. That's interesting, man. So so when you're not making big, bad, and heavy jungle tunes, you work tunes about ganja. you work in the ganja industry, or the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Is professional proper title. Yeah. So for those that don't know, it's legal in Colorado, right? So yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
can you?
Both medical and recreational.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was like medical a few places when it before, and then recreational. That's what we want, isn't it? Don't want to blag it. I don't want to come up with too much of a, too much of a backstory. But I will get high. Obviously it not being music related. Feel free just to briefly go over it. But there you go.
Got to keep it safe in the house.
Keep smoking there, is it?
Yeah, I actually just getting back into the official industry again. I've been in for a long time, and with COVID and shit and whatnot, and taking some breaks and whatnot with a kid and stuff. But I'm going back in and creating a edibles line for a company, and beyond that, it'll be fun to introduce the idea of what's actually going on. Some cool shapes and things is kind of the big difference of what we're doing, or kind of the angle that I'm providing, I suppose. I don't know. At any rate, some cool, fun, new ideas. Working with an awesome group, my boy, for that matter. If you go to Spotify, wherever, YOO, there's a space, NEK, unique. He's smashing new, kind of like the new dubstep rhythm, kind of MCs and just sick fucking tracks. But anyways, that's my boy.
Over here, dubstep's become like a bit of a naughty word because it was so big here, and then everyone's like, oh no, everyone says 140 now. I know, I played 140. No one plays dubstep anymore.
Oh yeah, God bless. I can't even imagine. Yeah, I mean that shit's whatever it is. It's like festival face melting shit,
Yeah.
I can't even. It's like make people fucking jump up and down shit. I don't even know what that shit is. Like,
nah, I do love it.
But yeah, they're killing it, and he's killing it with the fucking herb game too, man. My boy is just fucking. I'm fucking, got shit here sitting at fucking 37%, fucking, I just like, God bless,
Everyone just drooled in.
Fucking.
What's this, a shutter?
That's some butter, that's that wax.
Oh, right.
That's a chunk right there for sure. But I mean, but that's from that same house that's that Chronic Factory. That's my boy. Again, YONEK, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. Thousands of fucking plays, just smashing some shit. You gotta give him respect. I gotta give him so much fucking respect. He brought me back in on that herb game right now, and we're doing some good things. So and some amazing flavors and strains and shit going on. But God bless. If you're in Colorado, Chronic Factory, come by.
Definitely.
But
we'll put some links in.
Yeah. And then I mentioned with us before too, I'm kind of launching. I think I'm going to try and then launch on 420 as well. I'm doing just this little YouTube thing. We'll talk more about the edibles on there a little bit when that comes out, and probably try and launch with the song on there, put a link with that and whatnot. And it'll just be fun. Some can of facts, as it were, some recipes, kind of keeping people up to date with what some things that are going on. It'll be, old news for some people, new news for some. But that's going to be we'll have that link there, but it's the Creative Connoisseur. That's the new little thing doing to the side. But
name copyright, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Keep that. Yeah, that's done. That's done. Check that box. But yeah. So fun things. Trying to keep it. 2021. Last year was too much of a sleeper. So I don't know if I just did that mix too, or I don't know if we linked that maybe too with the CG agency. I just did this tune, but hopefully we're gonna do a down tempo mix and maybe release it as well. But my boy Otto, we're gonna try and release a few of his tunes this year. God bless. Just glad to be done with all that, and let's move on and make some things happen this year. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So some tunes with the herb stuff, with all that. So yeah. If you're in Colorado, Chronic Factory Exquisite Extracts, check that online. Creative Connoisseur, and
Okay.
some awesome new things happen.
Nice one. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. Look forward to it. Nice one. Okay, so probably finish up by not being wrong, but so talk about any tunes really that you've got coming out, or tunes that you've had recently out, and what are your plans for the future, really?
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know if this is coming out on 420 or ultimately the tune's coming out on 420, but
yeah.
I just I'll say that 10 times. About a few weeks ago from this time, I had that tune. It's called Just Smoke, so it's a good 420 tune if you're doing a mix. But that's from Sound So Fierce. We had the Sound So Fierce compilation come out, so check that for sure. Everything on Sound So Fierce is Randy Delirious, DJ Delirious. He's been killing it now for a minute. Always selects really good shit for all of his tunes. But yeah, that's ultimately just came out, so that's available. Definitely please go check that. That's more roller, but I was really happy with the way it came out. Plus he talks about smoke, just smoke. But beyond that, I actually just got a new Deep in the Jungle confirmed.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, I guess Alex has got Hybrid is talking about a 96 rollers style.
Okay.
Pop something. So yeah, some tune coming on that. It's called Baseline Posse. That's got confirmed just a few weeks back, or 2 weeks ago or so. So a big up to Alex Hybrid, Baseline Posse. Yeah. And ultimately respect to Hybrid ultimately too, because him picking up my copious ganja and the funk.
Great tune.
2015 or whatever that was, kind of really got me going and excited again. And
that was the first tune.
Big ups Hybrid. Big ups Hybrid.
Yeah, man.
Always doing good things.
Yeah, that was the first tune that I heard of you through. You know what I mean? That's like, it's a big tune, man. As well, just with the sample at the beginning, man. Just jokes, mate. The We Are Family sample with it. It's just like great tune. Like, what's going on with this? Jokes, man.
Yeah, for that matter, last 420, just super low key. I just did my own little Bandcamp release of a remix of that. So if you on Bandcamp, just my
we'll put it in the description, or if you're watching, go and check out you've got a Bandcamp then, so just check your Bandcamp out.
Another ganja tune there, and good. And I think it's pretty solid remix of that. It's pretty tight. Yeah. But got that. We got Yeska tunes coming out. Me and my boy Babel. If you don't know Babel, go to on YouTube or Twitch. He's killing it every week with the Terpy Tuesdays. Anyways, Babel and me got Bo Bros, BHO, like Bo, like Shatter, BHO wax, but also like Bo. Yeah. We got a little 4-tracker coming out on Yeska. And then I got a few more tunes coming out on Sound So Fierce. And then there's a homie, there's a dude out of Bay Area, originally from LA, M27, hardcore junglist. We got this little vinyl thing coming together.
Nice.
So that's cool.
About the shiny black.
Who knows what else? I think a few other things possibly, but just knocking on wood and keep making. I just got some new sound card and some new shit.
We lost him. So yeah, we were talking to Shawn One, and I will put all the links to his stuff underneath and any other stuff we were chatting about. But yeah, I mean, really great to have him on board with the label, and brilliant artist. I mean, yeah, check him out. SoundCloud, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, all that. So we'll put all the links in the description below. And yeah, Roddy Ganja is coming out on Box Fulla Records. It will be available on all platforms. Yeah, check it out. follow the man himself, follow us. You know, it's all it all helps. You know what I mean? It's all about the support, making everything move forward. You know. So that was Shawn One. I was D-Tox, and this is the Box Fulla Records channel. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Slap that subscribe. What they say. But yeah, you know, it all helps. And we will be back with another video, either interview or some behind the scenes stuff. You know, in the workings of running a jungle label. Thanks for watching, and we will be back when we're back. Enough love, enough respect. You know what I mean? Love the life you live and live the life you love. Out.